I often remark how every book that I read brings me into the knowledge of at least 4 other books that I would like to read, that I would like to buy and read, since you probably can't get them at our library in Chicago. The latest one, I've been reading Steven Runciman's History of the Crusades, and this one was just mentioned. History of Mar Yahballaha and Rabban Sauma. Goodness knows how you pronounce that, but let me read you what Amazon has to say as far as the description. This book tells the story of serendipity. 2 Christian monks left China about 1274, headed to Jerusalem. Traveling on an itinerary similar to that of Marco Polo, they reached Iran, ruled by a Mongol dynasty, the Ikhans. There, what they never had expected happened. One of them, Mark by name, was elected Patriarch of the Church of the East, with the name Yahballaha, while the other, Rabban Sauma, was sent as ambassador to the Pope and to the courts of France and England by the Ilkhan Argun. From Rabban Sauma's report of his embassy and the 2 monks' memories of their journey from China to Mesopotamia, an anonymous author compiled a biography of Sauma and Mark. He interspersed their report and memories with a narrative about the occurrences of their time, what happened to them, through them, or because of them, relating everything just as it happened. The result was a chronicle titled History of Mar Yahballaha and Rabban Sauma, of which a single manuscript was discovered in the late 19th century in the remote mountains of Hakkari, eastern Turkey. The history is one of the more recent examples of classical Syriac literature, a major Christian literary tradition of the Near East, while the encounter with 2 Asian Marco Polos of sorts constitutes the history's most immediate element of appeal for present-day readers. The work deserves to be read in its entirety as a rich and lively testimony of a time of unprecedented interconnectedness in the history of Eurasia in the time of the Mongol Empire. So I don't know what source Runciman had for this, but the book that's available at Amazon was just published in 2021 at $43. It's beyond my reach at this time, but Runciman attests to the fact that it is a rich and lively testimony. I don't believe he uses the name Mark in his wee synopsis. I read Marco Polo many, many years ago and did not find it that interesting. Perhaps I did not have the background which I needed, but this book sounds even more interesting. Would that there were a Penguin Classic edition of it, perhaps one day soon, because it seems that it would be interesting to hear the story of these travelers from Beijing to the West. I think the Mark, as the Amazon description calls him, was a Christian of the Nestorian sort. I don't quite know what that is, but he was on a mission to try to get Europe to join in on, well, essentially it would have been a crusade, I suppose, but to join in on the Mongols in an attack against the Mamluks, saying we are very Christian favorable, and if we don't do something, and we will not do it alone, we need your help. If we don't do something, your Christian outposts over there will be obliterated. The Europeans had either troubles or ambitions of their own to be concerned about. They were not concerned with what was going on in the Levant, so they did not join in. They just gave vague words of enthusiasm, let's say. And the chapter in the Runciman which I am reading is called The Fall of Acre. It is the Kingdom of Acre, and so that will be the end of it. But this book, History of Mar Yahballaha and Rabban Sauma, certainly looks like something that I would like to get a look at and most probably read.